over here. Lots of chairs. There's some up here in the front. Let's get comfortable. I'm very excited about today's master class. We have a guest Professor Bernhardsson from the Oberlin Conservatory. But hey, Colin, where's my favorite place in the world?
Oh, Iceland.
Yes. So Professor Bernhardsson from Iceland, a place that many of us are so fond of too. So we get a little bit of Iceland and a little bit of Oberlin here with us today. He's a wonderful violinist, has spent years with the Pacifica Quartet, has been a professor at Oberlin and a number of other prestigious organizations, and I hope you looked up his bio in this week's email, and if you didn't, then you need to do that after the master class today. We have two people performing for you today. Our first performer is Mio Imai. Mio is a student of Kimberly Fisher, and Mio will be playing the first movement of the Dvorak Violin Concerto. She is accompanied and collaborated with by one of my favorite pianists, because I knew him when he was smaller than most of you, Mark Lifshitz. So we've known each other longer than either one of us want to admit, probably. Maybe we will, because it's always been a good one. Anyway, please welcome Mio and Mark to the front here. Very beautiful. Very well. And then,
it's interesting. This concerto has been really criticized for being considered kind of inferior to the other sort of great romantic concertos, especially considered the great composers. And the criticism that it gets is because of its sort of perceived lack of structure. It's not, doesn't have a clear, it's not a clear sonata form, and a lot of people just didn't like the concerto because of that. But I find actually because it's hard to kind of make it into a clear sonata form because it has so many different sections. I consider it a strength of the concerto, and I think actually what we should, there are a couple of things that help me in general with Dvorak, not just concerto, but Dvorak as a composer, is that he had such an incredible natural ability to write melodies. It flowed out of him, kind of like Schubert. And him and Brahms were very good friends. And Brahms was very envious of his ability just to write these melodies. And I think, when you describe Brahms's music, it's sort of everything else that is great. It's the harmonies, it's the rhythm, it's the complexity of the structures that make that maybe a somewhat simple melody just sound amazing. But with Dvorak, it's the melodies are just so perfect, and then there's all this rhythm and stuff underneath. So that's, I think, one thing that helps me a lot with Dvorak. And also, he was considered maybe, we know so much of all these composers that had such troubled lives and were such kind of complicated people. He was apparently not. He was just beloved. He was liked, and I think his music, it actually shines through his music. I find it very helpful to remember the lyricism. I find it very helpful that he was so kind of embedded in his culture, this country, and it's sort of he loved dance and his music dances. And I find in Dvorak, I'm sure there is an example. I don't remember ever a Dvorak piece of music that is angry. I think it's never angry. It's often dramatic, it's melancholic, but it's never angry. But I think we often approach it, often when I hear the big playing, we approach it a little bit sort of angrily. So what I think will help you with this performance, because you're playing so well, if we can really just define characters for each of the sections. And then I find if we can find even more sort of lyricism, and I find places where the music can dance. And actually, once in a while, I think, if there's a fine line between sort of big and exciting and a little bit angry, once in a while across it. So it has a little bit to do with how you use your bow. So I want to talk about that a little bit. And then the other thing is you have such actually a great sound for this piece. But I want to find ways to actually just get a little bit more resonance. Because sometimes I find you really do dig in, and I think that's really good for the energy. But somehow that sound often stays in here. So I want to find a way just to kind of how you use your bow and how you use your vibrato to actually release and send the sound out just to get that sort of lyricism, even in the fast passages. So for instance, there are here, right here, the quintuplets. Actually, can you just play from here once? So we're supposed to start here. That's it. See, you play it so well. But I was wondering if we could, first of all, if we can find just a sound that is a little bit more open. One thing that I like to do is for instance, let's just play one beat at a time. Often I just like to find the first note. Just for me, just play the first note and just find a really open, release sound. So as soon as you strike it, there's some boom. So that's how your bow is going to behave. Just give me 4 bows like that. Can we both behave like that and then play the note? So give me 2 bows like that and then play the run. That's it. And so make sure that you don't change the way you bow, because this was so perfect. There's something you got into the string just too much. So make sure that once you hit it, that you don't, there's no kind of nothing, nothing grainy inside the note. Does that make sense? So one way that I would practice it, I would just do each like I would play each beat twice. So dee ba ba ra dee da. Try that once. And listen for that ring that you can get things out of the instrument. That's it. Now can you just like play it like that? And then also what's going to help you, because it doesn't all sound shape when it goes too monotonous. And I want to get to that a little bit. Now think 1, 2, 3, 4. Show me that a little bit. Do once again this exercise and then we'll play it. But with that in mind. That's right. Now can you play it and get that sound? I like that sound. How does that feel?
I think it's more open.
Yeah. That's it. Because our instruments are designed to resonate. Our bows are designed to resonate. And if we're holding onto the stick too hard, then it doesn't resonate. And the reason I like this little exercise is because if you're playing a single note, you would never do it. But often when we do that often. Right? So that's why I think it's a good exercise to do that. So I would do that and look for that. So think as soon as you strike, everything sort of releases. And so your fingers can kind of feel soft because the bow is designed to resonate. So like if I'm just holding like the screw here, just tap it. It's like a trampoline, right? So but if I hold on to it a little bit too hard, I'll tap it again. See, it's dead. So we have to find a way to hold the bow that it doesn't choke the sound, right? Okay. So that's one thing that I think you can just help, because then I think you'll just sound like an even better violinist. And then the music comes a little bit more to life. Now the other thing, there's so much development that unfortunately music is often repetitive. And again, some people criticize Porsche for that, but I think it's a strength. So if we can take advantage of why a composer repeats. So for instance, after the opening cadenza, you have these 3 entrances. And I wonder if there's a way for us to just show a little bit more, based on the keys, how you're going to do all of this, right? Now, of course, with orchestra you have to project, but you also have to kind of project character. Your entrance here, play for me just on the high E. Now, if this was written fortissimo, how would you play? So it's not that different, right? So, but it's only forte. So I think maybe, can you just play your part once and just listen from there? That's it. So it's always 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it's too sustained in the wrong way, then I think it loses. It sounds more angry than kind of dramatic. Does that make sense? Let's try that. That's better. Now here, everything was sounding so good until you got to suddenly sound a little bit tight. And it's also because you have such a really good vibrato. So that's why when you don't vibrate, it's almost more obvious. So I want to work on that a little bit. Play from here. And just do it smooth a few times. And again, I want you just to kind of sit on the string comfortably. Just play those 2 octaves, play it slurred. And the reason I like to practice things slurred is that it allows you to be smooth. So if you look at my hand, nothing changes when I do this, right? Just do that for me a few times. And think again, just kind of sonorous, get the sound out. Some fingers feel connected. Be a little bit surprised how lightly you can actually touch your instrument. Look over my sometimes just like this, like popping it is enough. So if I can do this, then I don't change anything. See how my bow doesn't change? Everything is like lyrical. Does it make sense? If I find a beautiful sound here, then I'm gonna play it. So you just play the top G sharp first. See, that's a good sound. Now don't change anything, just add the other string. So in other words, your bow behaves the same way on the E string when you play one string, two strings, or three strings. Does that make sense? So try this just the G sharp. So when you're happy with it, add the B natural, then you add the E. Don't change anything, like, because I feel like you start working so much harder when you have three strings. But look, nothing changes in my bow. This is how I practice fugues as well. If I don't like the sound of my chord, I start with my top note. When I'm happy with that, nothing changes. Because I feel like when we get three note chords, we start just like muscling up. But actually, it's much easier than we think. So make your bow behave the same way when you play one. Just that one note on the string, and when you add the others. So don't change anything. So beautiful sound on the G sharp. Comfortable. Yum. That's enough. Just don't change anything and add the A string. That's better. But do you hear how sometimes the end of the note is not attractive? I find we almost always start well, we don't always end well. And that's sort of an indication maybe you're holding something. Just do them one more time and then we'll play it. That's it. Everything was good except we forgot to vibrate here. That's it. Costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference. You know what else a student? I think like every master class I taught, played in, I think people always say, oh, you gotta vibrate more, vibrate every note. And my teacher said it, and it was like, I don't know, maybe number 19 on the priority list, somewhere after intonation, straight bow, good posture, memory, stuff like that. But then when you start playing a lot, you realize first of all, how you project. And it just like also helps you release tension. And sometimes I just find it's, instead of trying to vibrate every note, I just never stop every note. Or just like, if I feel like if you speak with the bow, you speak with the left hand. So they go together. Does it make sense? So just last time from the E natural octave, and then we'll go on. That's the idea. So it's always like noble and lyrical. Okay, one place I want to find a way we can just let the music down so your body releases. That's the idea. That's much better. And then for me, then you just sound like a little bit better violinist because it's easier. It's not so like laborious or like the sound comes out. Does that all make sense? Okay. Now here, you play this so nicely that I hear a little. I love the mood, but I heard a lot of. You only vibrated the long note, and since you have such a lovely vibrato, it's very noticeable when you don't vibrate. You know all the notes. So here, what helps me here, instead of thinking vibrating every note, which is not very practical, I just feel like my hand never stops. Can you just try that? So just find the first note, and then just keep your. And you have to be quite careful with the fingers, like barely touching the board. That's right. And then also, because you have to project, but you don't have to like squeeze. And it's so, if you listen to the orchestra, how they're playing off of it. That two measure gestures. Can we do that together? And so keep your bow flowing and like never stop. Don't try to vibrate or no, just make your hand never stop. Start every section and just even have just a word or mood for every single section. There's so many of them. And then we have to work on transitions between them, but have a different character because like one thing that I just like if we can find the vocal quality, making sure that the loud sections actually always dance, right? Even though they're dramatic, right? And then that there's just a distinct mood for every section and they happen so quickly. And then with this concerto, it's like I said, it reminds me so much of Schubert. It's like under every stone, there's like a great melody. So you can just explore that a little bit more. Bravo.
Our next performer is Noëlle Streuber-Eden. Noëlle is going to play for us the third movement of the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto, and her teacher is Guillaume Combet. She'll be accompanied by Maria del Orefice.
Here you need just simply sit there. You're just resting on the violin. Try taking your pinky off. I mean the thumb off, sorry. Yeah, and just trust it. It's just sitting there. There's like it cannot fall. It's just like, are you ever worried you're gonna start flying along? Look, so like the whole should just feel that way. Just sitting here. It's so comfortable, right? Not bad. And see this nice boat you have now? It's all curved and nice. Okay. Then here, just go above the middle. I'll show everybody out here. So you're just like sitting there, and now just like plant your bow at the tip. Don't even think you're playing it. I'll just put it here. Just sit there. Don't hold on to anything. Good. Now go to the middle. Now just sit here. It's comfortable. Now I'm just gonna like hold on to this corner. I'm simply gonna just extend your arm. Don't do anything. Just like let your fingers kind of like follow. Does that make sense? How does your upper arm feel when you do that? Yeah. Do it by yourself. Just imagine somebody just pulling this. Sit on the string. That's right. Now take up all the way to the front and just keep it sitting there. Just sit there comfortably. And now just basically just like open up your arm. There you go. Now, I feel like in here I'm going to do one other thing. Maybe just like everybody can just even do this. Just go into plank position. Now just extend your arm. And then just go back. And move super fast. You see your wrist and fingers? So this I consider the perfect bow arm. So this down bow up, bow down bow up. If I can do this, I can use a lot of bow. I can use a little bow, right? So then if you look at my arm, so like when I take my bow, I don't think anything's gonna change. It's just I'm holding the bow. So if I want to use full bow, I'm just extending my arm. If I want to play fast on the string, off the string, it feels the same. And so I think it's gonna help you because you're not tight, but you don't know what is tension. Now do this one more time. Now do the same thing and keep your fingers and wrist still. How does your upper feel now? Yeah, because like here is nothing, right? So I just find it very helpful. I can talk about sort of 4 things that help me in the form. It's like you're always resting, right? Then no matter how fast or slow you play, everything starts from here. Then I really feel like something has to keep us connected. Like your heels kind of prevent you from slipping, right? So I just call these my heels. The second finger and thumb. And what is also so nice about that is that I can't press with my first finger, which is like here, right? And then this guy just like speaks, right? So I'm resting, I'm moving, and my heel. So look at so if I'm playing something big, look at my upper arm. There's no difference between that or if I'm playing something short. So here, just using a little bow. No different than you're just using a lot of bow. And I would love for you to start thinking about that a little bit more, especially in the faster passages. So I want to practice that a little bit. So remember, you're going to rest. You're going to move from here. Now let's practice maybe the first kind of off the string section, and then I want to do. So like let's maybe just like practice from here. Yeah. But before you do that, so just do this for me. Just let's play one note. Just do this for me. Play middle to tip. In this tempo. And really open it up. That's it. So make sure that you're sitting on the string, resting, right? Move it. Yeah, and just left on the bow. That's it. So what I want you to do, you look at my arm, see how nothing changes here. I'm using a lot of bow or half a bow. A little bit less bow, tiny bow. See how nothing changed? The only thing that changed was the amount of bow. A little bit less bow, about here. Still a little bit in that pose so it doesn't bubble, but very singing. So just like, no more bow than that. That's it. Now do it in tempo. I think your tempo is a little faster. That's still that amount of pulse, so it doesn't come up, but singing. Now use tiny bow, and then feel like you just like you release off the first and third beat. Yeah, little. Show me that. Do everything the same, but just tiny bow. So I think the basic stroke now is better, but now I don't hear the shape. Yeah, little. So you have to release off of mainly the first and third beats. So something as a trigger, the first note maybe triggers it. Try that for me.
Wait, sorry, what?
So here, see if I do, see how like laborious that is? So for instance, if I just play slur, and I release, because in other words, you're not keeping the bow down. So just play this for me, slur. Dribbling a ball, you have to like, trigger it. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Let's go from the now the other thing here. It's hard to get that stroke to just be perfect, right? And actually, I think we sometimes spend too much time on the bow. I think we should actually spend a little bit more time on the left hand. Do this for me. Now do it slurred, but like do a little sort of pop. Vibrate them, but I want it to be like kind of this kind of a thing. But slurred. Do it in the part of the bow you're going to do it. That's it. On top of your money up, let's sing, because then I'm going to want your left hand to control this guy. That's it. Now do the same thing. But then I really let us, if you see my left hand, but then my bow just stays here. And this trigger should be bravo actually. Does that make sense? So it just stays in one part, but again, it's like if we say that no matter how fast or slow the player, everything's from here. That's it. And I'll see this man. What was the main note? And just release off of that. So it's just a feeling a little bit here and here, but this just feels lyrical. That's better. Except the shape it should be. That's better. You want to just go with orchestra now? Just go from that, like with that start of the movement. That's it. I'm also like here. This is we're going to define the character. What is it that you're doing here?
I think it's like very energetic.
Yeah, but it's also forte piano.
Yeah.
So maybe there should be a little bit of that. So I think I need to hear this. I need to hear the first note, but then I think this is too short. Actually, it's an eighth note, it's not a 16th note. So show me that. Actually, can you just play your actual fourth? That's it. I don't actually hear the. I don't hear this note. That's it. No, just do this again. Like kind of like what I'm doing the first note. Find the sound that you want. No energy. Now let the bow be hit like that, and then now add the notes. And since this kind of said, all this is pretty. And then it's that I finish. Okay, you have to show me that. This one. So make sure that you see the natural. It's hard to sing actually singing note under a slur. Do it once for me, play separate voice for me, and do that singing release I had you do before.
Separate voice.
For the on the yes from here. Just for practice, just do it. Do that singing release. So both hands, because there's like try that because I want a little bit more elasticity in your left hand. So let's do it separate voice. So remember you're gonna like do a do a little faster that way. Can you still have that release? That's it, doing tempo that way. I love practicing slurred runs separate bowls because both the only way you can like coordinate with your right hand is if your left hand is super even. Then I can get that sound. So do the right of them. But separate bowls again. That's it. Now do the tempo that way. That's it. Now play it as written. That's the idea. You know, that's better. Okay, let's there's one thing before we stop because I have to stop soon. Because also, I think you play so well and you're so talented and there's like great musical instincts. So I want you to think about like releasing tension and making this like, and since you don't go to the frog, maybe you should just practice like all your skills just at the frog. It's very, very comfortable. But in your left hand, I was wondering if you could find a way to make it just a little bit more elastic. It's like somehow there's this, there's a very simple exercise that I like to do. And it just has more to do with lifting the fingers off the fingerboard rather than coming down. And it's so simple, literally like this. But as soon as I strike the string, I'm off. Just do that for me. So the motions from here, and just for this exercise, I try to come as far away as I can. It has to come faster off the string. That's it. And the other finger should just be like nothing. I'll do 2, 3. And I always do it the whole step exactly. As soon as you touch the string, you're off. And everything released. That's it. Do like 4 bowls like that. That's it. I'll do 3 and 4 and do a whole step. And try to get the gesture from here because this is your strongest knuckle. And as soon as you touch it, you're off. I want to, so the whole point of this exercise is how quickly can you come off the string. Now make that bow beautiful. That's it. And I would just do this maybe like every time you start practicing, just do it a few times. Now for instance here, this is just like a simple run. But here, if we could get like this elasticity. Thank you. If you get the in the finger, it will actually help your bow up. So I would just practice, do this. Let's just do this. This is just a little simple run. Just do that. Do that. Do each one of them, and then we'll play. 2 bowls each. Next one. That's it. That's it. Good. And the fingers come higher off the string. There you go. That's it. Now play it for me. And have that sort of out, that word I can say. Yeah. That's it. Feels good, right? And I don't know why, like when I practice like that, some of my bowling just is fluid, more fluid. Right? Now just last time from your So remember, it's a B natural at the A sharp that is important. I mean, more important. You're doing That's it.
please join me once again in thanking Professor Bernhardsson? And next week is a student recital in this hour, so you can send everybody out to their other rehearsals. And thank you so much for being with us. I thank the performers. I think they want to get a picture with you.